Good evening, Simon here, Explosive Action, back with a black metal update. CDs and vinyl to get into, so let's get into it. We are listening to, in the background, the album from Realms. This is Existential Ascension. Some seriously raw US black metal. These guys are out of Salem, I believe. I think it's only a one-man project. There's the lyrics fold out. Very cool. There is a sort of relation between the band Realms and the other band Haunt. Both very good, very raw US black metal, and it's a top quality album. So the first few CDs here I'm going to go through really quickly. These are stocking fillers, they're shelf fillers. These are things that I just need to get back in the collection. You all know them, so I won't talk about them very, very much detail. This one, I mean, come on, this is common as. This is Cradle of Filth, Vampire, or as I've seen some people lately been calling it, the V Empire. I don't know, is that a hot take or not? I mean, there is a bit of a space there, but, you know, look, it clearly says Vampire there on the spine, so I've always called it Vampire. Anyway, this is the last one that I needed, that I really wanted. I got Principle of Evil Made Flesh, and I got, what is it, Dusk and the whatever, the other album. I don't even remember the names. I got the ones I wanted, and I needed to fill in the one in the middle, which was a Vampire, which is my favourite. This EP is really, really good. Dark fairy tales in Philistine. Yeah, by the time they got to like Midian, I kind of tuned out, and not that fast, but you know, I'm happy to get this one. It's the old Cacophonous Records pressing. I got it for a good price. There you go. Cradle of Filth. This one, very, very happy with this one. This is Marduk Dark Endless. This is a rare case of me swapping a vinyl for a CD. I have all of the vinyl, all of the Marduk that I'm actually interested in getting on first press CD. I got them through the years as they were released, basically. I got them as they came out. And I got up to about World Funeral, I think, is kind of when, you know, that's a spot for me. I think I'm good there. Except for Serpent Sermon, that album's really good. But there's a bunch of stuff in between there. Yeah, it's just whatever, it's not that great. But Dark Endless was always missing. I never had that on CD. I'm not too sure why. Never happened. Yeah, so I bought a couple of years ago, I got the vinyl reissue. I think Osmos put it out. Nice gatefold thing, you know, it was fine. But it just didn't feel right to me having a reissue on vinyl when I had all the rest on original CDs. So I sold it on, and I picked up this. Someone was selling this for a very, very good price. This is the original No Fashion Records press on CD, no barcode, original press. It's completely mint, and I got it for not Discogs prices, so I was very happy about that. Love this album. It's a great Marduk album, yeah, just stoked to have it. So I always liked the first Absu album, Barathrum. Got that on first press vinyl. That was one thing I was really excited to get a few years ago. Really, really good album. Always liked that one. Nice, just raw, savage black metal attack. But I never really checked out much more of that band till a few months ago, after the incessant nagging of Ben Brainsmasher, who told me I had to get Tara. Why haven't I got Tara? Am I buying Tara right now? I should go and get Tara. So I eventually got Tara, and yeah, he was right. It's a great album. The drumming on that is just monumental. And that's when I learned about the connection between Absu and Melakesh, and why the drums sound so similar. It's all the same guy. At that point, I thought, look, do I need any more Absu? People were saying you don't. Some were saying yes, you need to get the albums in between. And look, I just ended up tripping over them for like very, very cheap. I think about $10 Australian each, not too much. I picked up, which one is this? The Son of Tipperath and the Third Storm of Citharol. Yeah, and I've only given them both one spin each so far. They both sound fine. Tara is really, really good, but yeah, I can hear some similarities in these ones as well. So yeah, look, I need more time with these two, basically, but like, I don't need to talk about them either. You all know Absu. I've got more Absu. I've got now everything up to and including Tara. Do I want to get the the self-titled Abzu, and then the final one, which I think was Apsu. Do I want to get into those ones? I don't know. You guys tell me. But yeah, I'm happy with these ones. This is Osmos and another Osmos early pressings. So yeah, cool. Absu. I'll quickly talk about these as well. Then we'll get into some more detailed stuff. Band I really love out of Germany. Don't exist anymore. Lunar Aurora. I've been picking up their stuff throughout the years for a very long time now. The first one I got was a promo. I got the Stargates and Bloodstained Celestial Spheres, I think that's what it's called, which is their third album. I received that as a promo CD way back when, like whatever it came out, like 2000 I think on the dot, and it was just in a cardboard sleeve. Somehow lost that cardboard sleeve. I just got literally just the CD, which is a real pain. So anyway, I digress. I need to get that one on a proper album, but I did pick up for very cheap Zyklus and their final one, which is I don't know how you really want to say this one, Hogasht. I don't know, not too sure what that is. German, I presume. But anyway, this is their I think it's their second last and last, or maybe it's their third last and then definitely their last. Can't quite remember, but this is definitely their final one here. Hogasht. A little bit about Zyklus first. So this is a bit more like all of their albums, like it's kind of raw. It's quite like Stargate's album, actually. It's really good. I was playing again today. It's just everything you've come to know about Lunar Aurora. You know, if you don't know this band, which I'd be very surprised, you know, they're like other German band, Nagelfar with an E, not like the Swedish band without the E, and by extension, Ruins of Beverast, or Austrians, Abigor, all that kind of stuff. Very Lunar Aurora sound. So yeah, that's, you know, Zyklus was another one just to fill in the blanks that I was missing, and yeah, it's really good. But this last one, Hogasht, which I heard digitally for quite some time, but never managed to pick up a copy. It's actually proving quite hard to get a copy. Both of these I ended up getting from a local distro called Overuse. I think they might be back in print. They're on Cold Dimensions. Yeah, they're both on Cold Dimensions, so I guess they're in press now. And so yes, happily pick them up locally for a very cheap price. This one is very particularly interesting. So the band kind of called it a day in 2011, did nothing, that was the end of it. And then I think they came back, was it whenever this one came out, it might have been 2014 or something along those lines. Can't quite remember the timeline, but there was a period there that they took a bit of a sleep. When they came back, very different sound. There's a lot more, like the core is there, the black metal core is there, it is still definitely black metal, but it's got a bit more of a rocky edge to it. Not a Satyricon later type, you know, black and roll, not that at all. It's black metal played just a bit more simpler with sort of a rock and roll feeling to it. But also that gives a bit more room for all of their electronics and the synths to get a bit more focus and a bit more room to breathe, which gives the whole thing actually a bit more of a darker feeling than some of the more blitzkrieg albums. And this one really, it barely breaks a sweat. This is a good palate cleanser, right, for the end of their discography. It's a really good album. Sometimes it's my favorite, actually, because it's so different. Usually the 2001 album Ars Moriendi is the one that I go to the most, but this is great. I'll take a quick look inside on this one because it is their last album. If I can actually get the thing out. There we go. So, we get a little thing for Growl, whoever that is, and it's kind of hard paper stock on this, which is nice. There's the guys. So you can see it's a bit more of an organic, foresty kind of thing. Like, definitely a bit of a different vibe with their final album. But yeah, I love it. I really do. I'm really happy to finally pick up a copy of this one now. So there you go, Lunar Aurora with Zyklus and Hogasht. Awesome stuff. So Enthroned from Belgium, probably one of the biggest names in black metal. Not your Mayhem and your Emperor big, but definitely one of the longest serving black metal bands. They're still going. I think most seasoned black metal fans know of Enthroned. They're still going today. But generally it was a band that passed me by. Not too sure why. I do remember seeing, like, maybe it was their third or their fourth album kind of in cutout bins, and I just made the assumption that it's a second-rate band. I don't know, rightly or wrongly, I just passed it by. I would like to very much check out their first couple of albums for sure these days. I am on the lookout to try and find good copies. But in the meantime, I got this, and this predates the first album. This is the Promo 94. Obviously, it is their demo from 1994 that has been cut onto CD. Reissued last year by Deviant Records. Small label, I don't know too much about them. Also reissued on 12-inch, but I mean, look at this thing. Look at that cover. That's just like Xerox stuff. Just getting the cassette inlay and just fantastic. On this, I'm not too sure if this was remastered. If not, it is one of the best demos I have ever heard. Like, the quality of this shames so many things that are still being made today. These guys obviously went into the studio to make this demo with a plan, and everything is well balanced. All the instruments, the vocals, all very clearly articulated and well recorded. It's actually probably one of the best demos I think I've ever heard. They just really had the forethought, I think, in 1994 to record their demo properly. And this, Enthroned, 1994, it is just a true representation of 90s black metal. Fans of early Marduk, very early Dimmu Borgir, Cetherial's Nord, Dark Funeral's first EP, all that kind of stuff. Enthroned, that's what we're getting here. All that early good stuff. There's the CD there. What's really cool about this as well, very, very nice, and this might be a bit of pain to get out. There we go. It has a 36-page book, including interview here with Lord Sabathon, and it's got all photos of like flyers and demos, really cool photos. Let's get this stuff out. Look at these guys. Oh, Ancient Rite shirt. So much info about the early days, and it talks a little bit on the last page here about their drummer that passed away, who was on this album, and the issues and how the guys had to get their stuff together to then record the album with only like a few days' notice because the studio was already booked. So interesting stuff in there. But yeah, this is a really good quality demo. So if this is what the first album and maybe the second album is going to be like, I have to get them very, very soon. I need them because this is awesome. Particularly there's track 5 on here, Scared by Dark Winds. That is just prime quality 90s black metal. It's got everything you want. It's so good. Like, I played this twice in a row because it's not very long. It's like 25 minutes. I played this twice in a row. Got to the end and I just went, no, we're playing it again. It is so good. I highly recommend this thing. I don't think it's hard to find. Again, I got this from Overuse, their local Tasmanian distributor. So worldwide, just, I don't know, go hunting. Deviant-records.de is the label, but it's probably at all your usual distributors, so go check it out. And yeah, really awesome stuff from Enthroned, Promo 94. Alright, the next one is a one and done album by a Finnish two-piece. The band is called Grieve. This is spelled G-R-I-E-V-E, not to be confused with the Swedish band that spell it G-R-E-V-E, because they're a current band and they're producing very good albums. I even have some of their stuff and a 7-inch. That Grieve is good. This is a different Grieve. It is also good. This is, as I said, it's a two-piece. This is V Chaos from Vargrav, doing all the instruments, and Werewolf from Satanic Warmaster, and obviously Werewolf Records on vocals. So, you know, your sketchy senses may be tingling, but look, this is just a satanic love letter to 1993. That's what this is. This is just black metal. There's nothing else about it. It is just straight up evil black metal. So, I mean, effectively, this is the Vargrav lineup. It's the same guys stripping everything back, and they put this out, Grieve. So I don't know if this is like a intentional one and done, just need to get out of their systems and then go do the bit more symphonic stuff from Vargrav. I don't know. I don't know what the plan was there, but this is really good. This is just straightforward, evil, ripping black metal. It's just, you know, it does a great impression of like Under a Funeral Moon, Transylvanian Hunger. You know, it's got this 2 or 3 riffs per song, just repeated. You know, it's very Dark Throne-y, but just with more of a production, not a, you know, polished, shiny production. It just has more oomph to the whole thing, and that's to the quality mastering from Henry Solvali, I think that's how you say his name. He's from Moonsorrow and from Fintroll, but is also a producer. He produced this thing, did the mastering. Yeah, look, it sounds really good. It's good stuff. Track 4 on here, Nocturnal Cries. This particular standout I found, it sort of slows things down. Like the first 3 tracks are just Dark Throne, just blasting. But this one slows it down, gets really powerful. Has some sort of Satyricon kind of riffs in there. Track 5, Requiem of Mankind. That's got a riff that's like a not too distant cousin of Transylvanian Hunger itself. Like I could really hear it. And the final track, just called Funeral Path. That one slows right down and is just like Det Som En Gang Var era Burzum. So this is just you're just walking through 90s black metal when you're listening to this thing. Obviously it's intentional. And it's really good. It's just really good album. So yeah, like I said, I'm not too sure why it's a one and done. Probably just got all out of their system in 30 minutes here on this album from Grieve. But it really stands to show why 90s black metal was so good. Because that's what they're playing here. They're just playing 90s black metal. They're not doing anything else about it. Yeah, anyway, that's the guys. So yeah, there you go. Grieve with Funeral. So this next one, the band themselves refer to as an EP. It's the same length as the Grieve album I just showed. Like, it's nearly 30 minutes, so I'm calling it an album. This is Eschaton with Horacle. You could probably better describe it as death metal if I'm being honest, but this is being included because it is so bestial. This is a bestial Black Death album for sure, so I'm including it in this update. If you don't know, Eschaton, Melbourne 4-piece. They've done 4 CDs since 2011. Their last album, which I'll try and pronounce, Omegalithos, I think, from 2018. Good album, strong album, but I just didn't find myself playing it that often. It's like 55 minutes long, and it's a big, suffocating album. Didn't find its way into my rotation that often. Yeah, perhaps because of the production's a little bit murkier, perhaps because it was nearly an hour long, I don't know. It just didn't seem to happen too often. But this thing, Horacle, this is just 5 tight tracks with a very, very fitting production. Then I've been playing this thing to death. I have been playing it, the ripped version on my phone. I'm going out for a walk. I've been playing the CD at home. I'm playing this all the time because it's just a tight, like 29 minutes, 5 tracks. Bestial Black Death in your face. It is so good. The production on this is vastly improved over the previous album. That really helps. The guitars are just heavy as hell, right? They've got, I thought this was really interesting, and I really picked it up with headphones on. The guitars have that, and I don't know how to describe this, I'm not a musician, but that I always equate it to like the 7-string and the 8-string guitar sound, like that high gain kind of like hitting like electric wire kind of sound, you know, that kind of sound. The guitars have got that in this, which is not what I was expecting for this kind of Black Death. It just adds a serious weight to everything. Very, very good. The drums, my god, the drums in this are just a force to be reckoned with. Lightning fast double kicks, super, super fast. The vocals, they're deep and gravelly. Sometimes there's even like, just to prove that they're evil, nasty Black Death band, they just pitch shift it and go full demon sometimes, just for added, just, you know, emphasis, I suppose. Sounds really good. This is one seriously brutal album for like fans of Impetuous Ritual, Abominator, Lucifer, Titan Blood for sure. You like that stuff. Eschaton, particularly Horacle here. I got the chance to see these guys live. There's the guys there on the back. Got to see them live a few months ago, 3-4 months ago now, and that was one of the loudest things I've heard in years. My ears were ringing for about 2 or 3 days, and I remember when that set finished, me and my mates just all looked at each other and just went, what the fuck? Because it was so devastating. They played for like 40 minutes and just crushed. Absolutely crushed. I loved every second of that, and this album, or EP, whatever you're going to call it, they play tracks from that, and it's so good. It really is. Becoming my favourite release from the band, like I'd say it probably is. Their first album, which again we'll try and pronounce, it was Nihilgoiti, I think is how you said it, from 2011. That was always my go-to one, but I think Horacle's going to take the top spot. This is just an evolution. They've got the sound, they've got the production, they've got the riffs, they've got everything on this thing. It is just, it's so good. And now they've got the distribution. This is on Hell's Headbanger. Traditionally, these guys have not done vinyl. All of their albums are on CD only. There's a 7-inch as well. Now they're on Hell's Headbanger. I don't know. That could mean other things, but at this point, CD is what you get. CD sounds great. Definitely pick it up. If you've not heard Eschaton, you like the bands I mentioned, pick up Horacle. Onto the vinyl now. We've got the debut album from Belgium band. This is called Heinous with Ritual Blood and Mysterious Dawn. Very new band to me. I didn't know about these guys at all. They just showed up at a local distro called Impure Sounds. They put up a few things, and this one, its cover, just grabbed me. I went, that looks pretty cool. Gave it a listen. Instant purchase. And yeah, I'm very happy with this one. And on the topic of Enthroned, this features the former vocalist, Lord Sabathon, who we talked about earlier. He's in Heinous, so there you go. Again, a very straight-up 90s sounding black metal attack, but with a much tighter production. It's sort of like the first track, for example, in this one. After the prologue there, the actual Ritual Blood and Mysterious Dawn track, it kind of flips from Finnish scene, sort of Behexen riffs to, you know, straight Ablaze from the Northern Sky. Like, it's just all kinds of just traditional 90s black metal. And then wash it all in a bit of like the first two Satyricon albums. Lots of Shadow Throne for sure in here. Yeah, this is what you get with Heinous. Their band is a 6-piece, so a lot of members producing this thing. Twin guitars, there's a dedicated keyboardist. The keyboard's very good on this. The vocals, though, that's what is quite different. Not your black metal rasps like you're hearing in the background here. This is like a booming, shouting, very reverbed vocal, like somebody yelling out in a metal-cladded room, like they're just shaking a cage going, "Let me out!" That's the vocals to this the whole time. And man, they're very haunting, almost. Like, they're just a bit unnerving, the vocals. They're entirely what it's supposed to do, I assume. And it's very good. And like I said, the keyboard's very good. They're very subtle. They sort of add a nice bit of shine to everything here, sort of help hold it together. But when the guitars do pause, the keyboards just really come out, have their own bit of playtime. The twin guitars work really well. Usually there's like a savage sort of trem riff on the rhythm guitar, and then like higher pitch sort of lead accompaniment over the top. That kind of playoff happens a lot through the album. Sounds really good. The bass, it doesn't really come out too much to play except for one particular track towards the end, where the song starts with just drums and the bass, and you can really get a feel for the bass there. That sounded good. They're quite dynamic songs in the tempos and the structures. There's the band in there. Must be Gatefold. It says 6 members. You need to Gatefold, just put the damn band photos in here. Yeah, it's definitely not just like a raw black metal band, right? This is well thought out, well structured, modern take on 90s black metal. That's what this sounds like to me. It's evil, just like, look, it's evil, hooded, candelabra black metal. That's what this is. Like, it'll definitely satisfy fans of just straight ahead black metal, but also the modern take on that. Norway's Ma or Mare, I'm never too sure how you say that. That album, Ebony Tower, good reference point for something like Heinous. You should dig this. I think Ritual Blood and Mysterious Dawn. Very, very good black metal. I've only had 2 listens through so far. I've only had this one very brief time, but I really wanted to make sure people knew about this because it's very good. Heinous, Ritual Blood, Mysterious Dawn. Next up, I'm going to show 2 albums by the same band. The band is called Trolldom, and I'm going to have absolutely no chance of pronouncing the album names nor the person behind them. I'm going to at least give it a try with the album names. This one is I Natan's Sken, I say with my Australian accent, and this one is Av Gudas At. I'm sure it doesn't sound anything like that, but they got 2 albums from Trolldom. And Look, I won't try and say the guy's name. I even looked it up. I even looked up how to pronounce and then put it in. I got nothing, and I'm not going to embarrass myself. This is his name, right there. You see there on the screen. Very prolific musician, this guy. He is the driving force behind so many bands that I really like, which is why I should learn how to say his name. But Grieve, the one without the I, Nipahalan, Gardgaster, Musmahu. All these names are hard to say. They're good. Muvitium, and I think the main one that most people would know these days is Beketh Nexumhu. That band itself has got 15 years of demos and a few albums and stuff, and a band that I need to dig into more. But Trolldom, we're talking about Trolldom. Seriously, look the guy up on Metal Archives. He goes over like 3 lines. He's in so many bands. It's quite amazing. This one is the sort of symphonic black metal project, and he's very, very symphonic. There's a common sound with all of his stuff, particularly sort of the later eras of these things. And Trolldom's no real different. It's just that the keyboards on this have the focus. He's really let the keyboards go on this one. Think sort of Tartaros approach. And those more recent Beketh Nexumhu recordings that I've noticed, there's these 3 LP recordings that have just come out where he's sort of re-recorded all the demo stuff. They're on my wish list, but those have a sound that is very much like Trolldom here. Perhaps it was all done in the same studio, same mastering, I'm not too sure. But very, very good sound, and very much so in here. So you get, a quite clean, big production, snappy drums. I love the drums on this. Snarled vocals, kind of like Dimmable Gears, Enthroned Darkness Triumphant, you know. Guitars blended in with sort of twinkly keyboards, like I said, Tartaros. Just think sort of mid-late 90s atmosphere. That's what we're going for here with Trolldom. This particular one here, which I'll say again, is Av Gudars At. This is the first of the 2. They both came out this year, right? A bit of a story with them. So this one is re-recordings of demo material from 2016. Very good. And this one, which I was holding before, which is I Natan's Sken. This one was the second one that came out this year. I think they might have all come out actually the same day. I think it was a dual release or something. And the material on this one was written between 2004 and 2008, quite some time ago, but not recorded until 2018. And then both of these things were all mixed and mastered very recently. So I think between the 2, I prefer this one. It feels a bit more rounded, a bit more, it's definitely longer. This one's a 2 LP. Take a quick look in here. This one's a gatefold as well. Very nice. The LPs are black. The LP and the heinous is black too. I didn't bother showing you that. Chaptery thing, lyric-y thing in here somewhere. Not sure if there's actually anything in here. Doesn't look like it. No, just the lyrics there on the gatefold, which is very nice. There's the back, and there is the gentleman's name. I cannot pronounce, but Supreme Nordic Black Metal. Very true. All of this aesthetic here also helps describe the sound, like it's got that, Emperor Nightside Eclipse kind of look going on. Another good comparison. I mean, it is just everything you like about mid to late 90s black metal. Like I said, this one I think is a little bit more well-rounded. The other one's, it's excellent, but it's kind of, because it's demo that's re-recorded, I think the demo material is maybe, it's a bit more sort of straightforward, a bit more fast, has a raw edge to it, even though it's well-produced. This one, I think, as I said, is just, it's just got more pieces in that puzzle, and I find this one I've been listening to more than the other album. So, I'm not too sure if there's going to be more music under the Trolldom name. Like I said, the guy is in 500 bands, so maybe this was just old material and he put it out and gave it a name. Don't know what the future is, but I recommend both of these albums, particularly this one. If you're only going to pick one, pick this one. But they're both very good, and this is Trolldom. Awesome. The next one is a Spanish atmospheric one-man black metal band with a session drummer that rotates on each album. I'm talking about Ostots with Madarakazoya, I think is how you say this one. I don't know, there's so many names today. great cover on this one. I like the simplicity of this, just a lightning strike, and it's just black, and that's it. That's your album cover. Fantastic. Their fourth album from this band. I think I have them all at this point. It came out at the very start of this year. It came out middle of January, and I've had it for a couple of months now and haven't had an opportunity to show it. They've done a ton of demos and splits, but this is their fourth actual full-length album. All of the albums are excellent. This, to me, I think is the best, as it should be. Natural progression for the band as they move on. Their latest album should be their best, all things being considered. In this case, I think it is the case. It's mostly mid-paced, occasionally a bit more peppery, very organic sound, dreamy almost at times. It's actual metal riffs mixed in here. I said atmospheric, but you do get some proper metal riffs in here, and also sort of the Burzum-y type soundscapes. Like, it's all a bit of a mix in here. Often you get those very metal riffs over the atmospheric stuff, which is a great combination. The vocals are kind of raspy, very choked sounding. I really like the vocals. They really work well in this one. The keyboards, very lush, very nice sounding keyboards all throughout this one. The music on this kind of reminds me of Luna Aurora, actually. Bit of like somewhere between Luna Aurora and Paysage de Verre, but like less crazy, I think. A bit more pulled back, somewhere in the middle there, I think is what you're going to get with Ostot's. Sort of around the Anduct album of Luna Aurora, I think is probably something to aim for. Might be what you're sounding here. I think any of the fans of any of those types of albums, you're going to like this. Dimmu Borgir's Stormblast, going back in time, another pretty good comparison, I think. Good reference. It's a bit more visceral than that, but yeah, all those things together, that's what you get with Ostot's and this new album from them. I don't see many people talk about this band. It's not a name I hear much in the circle of people that I talk to. Only person I know that has talked about Ostot's before and shown their stuff is Mike Seatown. I know he is a fan. He has shown at least one of their albums, if not more. The man is of good taste and celebrates their discography, I believe. So more people should too, because yeah, I've got a feeling you might see this on my end of year list. I'm just going to put it out there because it's so good. Nice piece of painting artwork in there, just of a bit of a forest and down to the water, which is nice. And is anything else? No, just the record on black. I haven't really been showing the records because it's black metal. They're all black. And there's Ostot's. So yeah, that's the back again. Altair Productions, as you can see here, they did this. They're out of Portugal. They did CDs and tapes too, if that is your bag. But either way, plenty of stuff to check out for Ostot's if you are new to the band. But I would actually recommend you start here with their newest one, Madarikazoia. Hope I'm saying that right, but it's an excellent album. The next band have been the darlings of the black metal underground scene for a couple of years now. Musically, they've progressed, added a little bit of a goth influence on their last couple of albums, which has been very interesting. It still works in their brand of black metal, but on this particular album from 2019, it's a lot more raw. Finally, I have Lamp of Murmur, Chasing the Path of the Hidden Master. This is, yeah, top quality raw black metal, lo-fi black metal. Not bees in a matchbox stuff like Lampere. This has got creative, memorable riffs, and I think that's why this band has become such an underground hit. It's quite a memorable stuff they're putting out. Audible bass, actual bass melodies that are separate to the guitars, which is kind of surprising on such a lo-fi black metal album. Drums that do more than just blasting and D-beat. Is quite varied music. The vocals, yeah, your proper raw black metal, savage, howler monkey kind of stuff, right? It's really, really good. If you like any of the raw black metal from the recent years that like Sulphuric Night, Ebony Pendant, Acacia, Vampiric Rites, those kinds of bands, I think you're going to like this. It's more often that you know this, and I probably just recommended you 4 other bands, to be honest, but Lamp of Murmur. This is my entry point to the band, though I had the tape since it came out, 2019. Don't remember why I didn't get it on vinyl at the time. Most likely because it was limited to 100 and disappeared instantly. Don't actually recall, but I got the tape. And I've been playing that quite a lot in the last 3 years. But I was always annoyed that I missed the vinyl. And then Death Prayer Records, they've been saying for about 2 years, and the band's been saying for about 2 years, don't pay scalper prices, the repress is coming, it's coming. And it finally came. The pre-orders went up last month, and it's in my hands as of only a couple of days ago, and I'm very, very happy to have it. And the tape in the background just stopped. But this, it's such a good album, well, demo really, predates all these actual albums. It's technically a demo. It was pre-pressed with vastly larger numbers, but still sold out within a few hours, which is better than the first time where it sold out in like 8 seconds. Anyway, there's the art on the inside. Very, very nice. And LP is just black. Artwork is slightly different, I think, to the first press. So the first press was on Death Cult. The label renamed itself to Death Prayer. Not too sure why. It didn't have the border on the original press, otherwise the artwork was the same. So as I said, it is sold out, but there's a handful of these on Discogs now. You can get them that are not outrageously priced at this time of video, time I'm doing this video, but look, it's better than the first press, which is in the $500 range. Either way, Lamp of Murmur, very, very good. Raw black metal, 2019 demo. Check it out. Last one I'm going to show here, also on Death Prayer Records, the Sophomore album by this UK band. This is Ofawintran. These guys are out of North Yorkshire in the UK, following up their 2019 very exceptional album, which I will try and say, Lifer Kosh Hergest is how I'm going to say that, which translates to the Red Book of Hergest. Not too sure who Hergest is. But this one, there's their second album. It Often Befalls Those is the name of this album. And this is good. One-man band again with a session drummer. Seems to be the thing to do these days, is be a one-man musician and get the drummer in to do all those stuff. This is for fans of, like, you know, the early Finnish scene, Sargeist, Horner, all that kind of stuff. But also the Judas Iscariot, just black metal. This is what this is. Icy, very icy, repetitive. Trem riffs is pretty much all the way through this. It's got mostly blasting, then it'll do the that 2/4 beat kind of thing. Double kick barrage. I love a good double kick barrage. It's just everything black metal, everything you expect. It's all here. Very, very miscellaneous screams, kind of vocals. It's just all the good stuff. I get a big grin when I listen to this album and their previous album. So good. But, you know, my description, you might go, oh, no, not another one. He's talking about more raw black metal. It just sounds like the 90s. Look, it's the quality of the riffs on this thing that make Ofawintran as a whole unit just so appealing. This guy writes riffs. Really, really appealing riffs. Very memorable, very emotive, almost. As strange as it sounds, I find the riffs on It Often Befalls Those quite positive sounding. Like, if you listen in the background here with Realms, this is just scathing and negative sounding nasty black metal, but there's a positive leaning here. There's story being told in the music on Ofawintran, and it's not your Hail Satan story at all. I think it's a bit more of a historical edge, I think, is sort of what his lyrics are. Not that I've been able to get into any of them, but that's sort of the suggestion I get from Metal Archives. And it does feel that way with the riffs. It is there's more going on here, folks, I think is what I'm trying to say. Not blasphemous and satanic, just it's something a bit more deep. The riffs almost feel a little bit folky, like just a little bit, just the way that they're articulated. Like the cover itself just makes you, think just standard one-man raw black metal band like the Lamp album I just showed, but there's something more going on here, and I think that's what keeps me coming back. The quality of the riffs, there's just something deep going on there. So as much as I love Lamp of Murmur that I just showed, Ofawintran is the band on Death Prayer Records that needs a bit more love. I know people do know them, but nobody that I know seems to get into them. I've talked about their previous album on here, but I'm not too sure how many people took that suggestion any further. I love For Winter, and this second album is just as good as the first album. So yeah, very, very happy. Just another black LP, but we do get a lyric-y, photo-y thing here in the insert. So there you go. No lyrics, just the photo. Nothing else. So as I said, I don't know what the hell he's singing about, but it does feel a bit more involved than you might expect by just looking at the photo on the front. And it definitely comes across in the riffs. So there you go. O for Wintran, it often befalls those. And I tell you, the one thing that's going to befall me soon is sleep, because I am knackered. Hope you did enjoy this black metal update. I know it's been some time coming. If you did, please like, subscribe, check out that thing, check out that thing. In the background, we're listening to Realms. Check out this thing. I'll see you next time.